December 1980. In the stillness of a freezing winter night, beneath the ever-present canopy of Rendlesham Forest in Suffolk, England, a bizarre and mysterious series of events unfolded. Over the span of 2 nights, something extraordinary transpired in this quiet woodland area, something that would go on to be labeled Britain's Roswell. What exactly happened near the U.S. Air Force Base at RAF Woodbridge? Was it an isolated event, a series of misinterpretations, or an elaborate hoax? Or was this something far more mysterious, a glimpse into extraterrestrial life, hidden from the public by layers of secrecy? Tonight, we unravel the details of the Rendlesham Forest Incident, one of the most credible and perplexing UFO encounters in British history. This is Rendlesham Forest, Britain's Roswell, and you're about to step into a world where the line between fact and speculation blurs like never before. It was the early morning hours of December 26, 1980, around 3 a.m., when a routine night watch at RAF Woodbridge turned into something far more unusual. The forest, cloaked in darkness, suddenly lit up with strange, radiant lights. U.S. Air Force security personnel stationed at the base initially thought it was a downed aircraft. The lights appeared to descend slowly, cutting through the silence of the forest like nothing they had seen before. The servicemen's training kicked in immediately. A group ventured into the thick woods to investigate what they believed might be a crash site. But what they encountered was beyond the realm of anything they had been prepared for. Deep within the forest, they stumbled upon a glowing, metallic object resting among the trees. Descriptions of the object varied. Some witnesses reported seeing a craft that glowed with an eerie internal light. The object was silent, hovering just above the ground, pulsating with strange, multicolored lights. Others described a triangular shape, almost alive with an otherworldly hum. Their instincts told them they were witnessing something unprecedented, but fear, confusion, and awe overwhelmed their senses. Was this really happening? Could they be staring at an object not of this earth? Among the first to approach the object was Sergeant Jim Penniston. As he drew closer, the strange craft seemed to beckon, standing silent, but somehow alive in the shadows of the trees. Penniston would later describe what he saw, and more astonishingly, what he touched. He claimed that he approached the craft cautiously, mesmerized by symbols etched along its surface. These were no ordinary markings. They resembled ancient hieroglyphs, strange and cryptic, glowing faintly in the dim forest light. What happened next would be etched into Penniston's memory forever. He placed his hand on the cold metallic surface of the object. It was smooth, impossibly smooth, and almost warm despite the frigid winter air. His heart raced, his mind filled with questions, but before any answers could come, the craft suddenly lifted into the sky, disappearing in the blink of an eye. It left behind a scene of eerie silence, as though it had never been there at all. The next morning, evidence of the encounter remained. Triangular impressions in the ground where the craft had hovered, burn marks on nearby trees, indicators that whatever had landed in that forest had left its mark on the earth. Skeptics would soon dismiss these signs, with local police attributing the impressions to animal activity. But those who were there knew something far more extraordinary had taken place. The Rendlesham incident didn't end with that single encounter. On the night of December 28, 1980, 2 days after the initial sighting, another, even more significant event would unfold. This time, it involved the deputy base commander himself, Lieutenant Colonel Charles Halt. Armed with a Geiger counter, a flashlight, and a tape recorder, Colonel Halt led a team into the forest to investigate the reports of more strange lights. What he witnessed on this second night was even more unnerving than the first. As Halt and his team ventured deeper into the woods, they saw a bright, pulsating light in the sky. It hovered silently, before splitting into multiple smaller lights that darted across the horizon with precision. The men were left baffled. Was this military technology? Some kind of experimental aircraft? Or was it something not of this world? The incident lasted several hours, and during that time, the strange lights moved in ways that defied the laws of physics. They accelerated and decelerated with uncanny ease, stopping and starting as though under intelligent control. The team's Geiger counter registered unusually high radiation levels at the site, adding more layers to the mystery. Halt's voice, recorded on his tape recorder during the event, was filled with a mixture of awe and disbelief. "It's back again," he said. "There's no doubt about it. This is weird." The events of that night would later be summarized in Halt's now famous memo, a document that would become one of the key pieces of evidence in the Rendlesham Forest case. When Lieutenant Colonel Halt submitted his memo to the chain of command, he expected an investigation to follow. After all, the events in Rendlesham Forest had been witnessed by multiple credible military personnel. But instead of a thorough inquiry, Halt's report was met with indifference. The Ministry of Defense quickly concluded that the incident posed no threat to national security and chose not to pursue the matter further. For the men involved, this official dismissal raised more questions than answers. Was the government attempting to cover up an encounter with extraterrestrial technology? Or was this just another example of bureaucracy dismissing the unknown? Over the years, many theories would surface. Some suggested that the lights were simply a misidentified lighthouse beacon from the nearby Orford Ness Lighthouse. Others proposed that the entire incident was a staged military exercise designed to test the U.S. forces' response to unknown aerial phenomena. But the servicemen who witnessed the events of those nights remained steadfast in their accounts. To them, the lights they saw were not from any human technology they recognized. Despite the compelling testimonies of Penniston, Halt, and others, skeptics have worked hard to find more mundane explanations. Some claim that the lights were nothing more than a combination of bright stars, meteors, and the Orford Ness Lighthouse. According to this theory, the servicemen, unfamiliar with the area, mistook natural phenomena for something more extraordinary. There are even those who claim the entire incident was an elaborate prank, pulled by British Special Forces to test the nerves of their American counterparts. These theories suggest that the Special Forces used helicopters, flares, and perhaps even remote-controlled drones to stage the incident, knowing the Americans would be caught off guard. Yet these explanations fail to account for the high radiation levels recorded at the site, the precise movements of the lights, and the sheer number of witnesses. The mystery of Rendlesham persists, not because of a lack of plausible explanations, but because none of them fully account for all the facts. Was this a military experiment gone wrong? A psychological operation? Or was it, as many believe, a genuine encounter with beings from another world? Today, the Rendlesham Forest Incident continues to fascinate. It has become part of UFO lore, much like Roswell in the United States, and draws visitors from around the world to the now famous UFO Trail in Rendlesham Forest. Books, documentaries, and interviews have kept the story alive, and for many, it remains one of the most credible UFO encounters in history. Over time, the incident has inspired countless theories, with some even suggesting that the truth lies buried deep within classified government files. Did the US and UK militaries recover an extraterrestrial craft in the woods of Rendlesham? Or are we simply grasping at shadows, trying to make sense of something we cannot yet fully comprehend? The truth may be out there, but whether or not it will ever be revealed remains a mystery. The Rendlesham Forest Incident remains one of the most intriguing and puzzling UFO cases of all time. What happened during those 2 nights in 1980 continues to stir debate and fascination. Was it a close encounter with extraterrestrial life, a secret military experiment, or perhaps something in between? The truth, as always, may be stranger than fiction. And until more evidence comes to light, the forest of Rendlesham will remain a beacon for those who seek to unravel the mysteries of the universe. Join us next time for another mind-bending exploration into the unknown. Our next episode will delve into the Betty and Barney Hill abduction, a modern mystery. What did this seemingly ordinary couple experience on that fateful night in 1961? Were they truly abducted by extraterrestrial beings, or could there be a more earthly explanation? Be sure to follow us for updates on future episodes. Until then, keep your eyes on the skies, and remember, the truth is out there.